Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome to Tool Talk. I want to talk about today my past experiences with Milwaukee in hopes that everybody out there will, maybe they can relate to it, and maybe Milwaukee will watch it and um, listen to some of the feedback that everybody's been posting about on YouTube and making videos on. Um, So, first thing I want to bring up to everybody is if you're using your half-inch cordless impact with one of these big batteries, doesn't seem to happen with the fives, but if you're using them with the 6 amp hour, 8, and the 12s, what I noticed happened is the case of the battery, you can see it right here, um, from all the rattling around using this thing, it can't handle it. This plastic, the batteries are so big, so heavy, and they're just relying on this ledge here that holds it. Um, I think what they really need to start to do on their impacts, especially, is put some kind of rubber or urethane here, or do it like Makita does it and put something here and here, maybe even back here. That way, when you slide this battery on, it has a little bit of a shock absorption, and hopefully that will just take up that slop and also maybe help against cracking these, because this battery's about 2 years old, and um, it's getting worse. It's come all the way down. I'm gonna have to warranty it or just glue it. I don't know yet. Um, but I'm a little disappointed in that. Especially, I can't imagine the 12 amp hour batteries that are even bigger than this. I don't even have a 12 amp hour. Um, it just makes it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you would think that they would have thought about this, or all the complaints would finally get through to them, because I know I've heard about this happening quite often. But the tool, it's a great tool. But Milwaukee, come on, you got to take care of this. Okay, but also another issue. Look at the trigger. This is my mid torque. Okay, you see the gapping, the gap here. Not sure if you guys can see that, but a lot of dirt and debris, rust, gets its way in here. One of the things I do to help my tools last is I have just one of those spray cans of air that you use to clean your keyboards with, and occasionally I'll spray out the vents and around the trigger. I'll spray out the ports on the battery, because you don't want dirt to build up in there. You leave that in there, that's gonna wear every time you slide this battery on and off. It's gonna put wear on those terminals, and could possibly corrode, start to give you a bad connection. So really, it's just little things that you can do to help improve the tool, um, and just help it last a lot longer. So back to the gapping on the trigger. Uh, the only reason that I could think that is a problem is just how they want this trigger, how it's set inside the handle, the housing of the tool. If they would have just moved it up, I'm assuming it would have been a lot tighter. It just makes it look a lot better. I mean, you're spending $200 on this tool, and then to have issues like this. Now again, it's not really an issue, other than to me, cosmetically, and also gonna get dirt in here. You're gonna get all kinds of crap over the years. A lot of guys, they don't blow these out. They just use them, use them, use them. When it breaks, it breaks. Um, I like to take care of my tools. This one's about two and a half, 3 years old probably. Um, let's see if I can even make out the serial number anymore. No, it doesn't. Don't think I can make it out. Um, so again, the tool itself has been great. This thing has seen a lot of use. Lug nuts, stuff it should not be doing. Every day for at least a year, I use this thing 8 hours a day. Uh, just taking stuff apart in harsh, dirty environments, greasy hands, brake fluid, coolant, grease, rust. These 5 amp hour battery packs, they would last me about a day and a half, working an 8 or 9 hour shift. No complaints there. It's really just a great tool. The light, very handy. I never even really use the speed settings. This one here, I actually got this tool on clearance. Came with a 5 amp hour battery, a bag, a charger, the tool. I think I paid $129 for it. Unfortunately, it was the friction ring. That's sorry. I wish it was the friction ring. It is the pin detent, and of course, when you put a socket on there, it wants to lock on. You can't get it off. So I took my grinder very carefully, ground the pin down a little bit. It works just fine. I've been using it like that for the last 2.5 years. It was the first thing I did to the tool. Um, the rubber has held up very well. It's all still intact. It's been dropped a few times. I try again. I take good care of my stuff. We pay a lot of money for it. We should. I have had it apart about a year ago. Added some grease in here and just blew it all out, cleaned it. I couldn't believe how filthy it was. With all these air vents, you will be surprised if you take yours apart how much dust just works its way through the tool. It's really good just to get that out of there. So the last thing I want to talk about is the right angle 3/8 impact that some of you guys remember. I had this apart a few weeks ago and did a little bit more research on it. Some of the components, just why does everybody complain about the size? How much smaller? You can't make this tool smaller. If you made it smaller, it's going to have less power. Remember, your impacting mechanism is right here. That takes up all of this. You've got two gears here so that they don't need a longer shaft on the motor to reach the main impact mechanism. The bearings inside, they were Outdo was the brand. Bosch also uses those bearings. I don't know how great they're gonna, how long they're gonna last. They were made in China. This whole tool is made in China. It says professionally made in China. Really, it's about as small as you're gonna get for this tool to have this much power. And I prefer the 3/8 ring. Some guys will have the 1/2 inch. Well, maybe that's for them, but at least Milwaukee at least gives you that option instead of just making a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch. That was very good of them, in my opinion. The trigger seems to be in a pretty good place. I would like to ask anybody if you have this tool, are you using it, or have you used it with one of these batteries, but the 3.0 high output? Because with the 2 that I have, it still has a nice feel, nice balance. You put your impact 3/8 socket on here, your impact swivel. If you want, they have those, Snap-on makes those extra shallow ones now. I think for starters, if you can fit this head in there, this thing's going to be great. I've used it on transfer case bolts with a 3/8 impact swivel on it. Worked very well. Took them out, no problem. It will not break loose drive shaft bolts. Those, I think they're 12 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken, on the Fords for the drive shafts, the ones that are the 12 point. Um, wouldn't budge them, at least on the F-250. But we all know they have Loctite on them and such. So I'm okay with that. I wasn't expecting it to take it off. Um, it's definitely got its place. You know, you're doing timing belts. You got to get the belts, the brackets, everything loosened up. Loosen up the alternator. Loosen up the power steering pump. Get that stuff moved down out of your way. This is going to be a good tool with the right set of sockets. Um, I really haven't gotten too crazy into the modes. Um, I had enough room where I was using it where it didn't matter, really. I could catch it if it comes off, the bolt flies off. But I could see how speed setting one, if you're taking bolts out, would be nice because it's not gonna just zip it out really fast and throw it on you. It's gonna take it out slow, allow you to have better control so you don't drop it. It's a great tool. Um, there was one other thing I wanted to mention about the teardown. We had we had seen a black wire that went from the circuit board to this metal head. It's actually a ground. A little bit of research. So that's not. I think I had said maybe for temperature. Um, that was all BS. Um, so I don't claim to know everything about tools, but I do know how to take things apart, how to put them back together, um, how to tell if it's decent. And we saw a mix of centered metal uh, gears in there that are they're powdered metal. They didn't start out as a block of steel. Um, don't know. This has only been out for a short amount of time, so time will tell. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit the like button. Hopefully soon we're gonna do another teardown. It'll be a better one this time because I have a better mount for my camera. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for watching.